Hello, guys.
Hello,
Hey, Blake.
Blake.
Making me move, but it's all good because I get to talk to the both of you.
Good. Get
Very
your
nimble.
exercise in. That's nice.
Here's what I noticed today. Donald Trump. Post, any person or company investing $1 billion or more in the United States of America will receive fully expedited approvals and permits, including but in no way limited to all environmental approvals. Get ready to rock, he says. Pay to play?
No, I think what you're seeing on those numbers on the wall, there's a little euphoria. Certainly the Bitcoin numbers. Bitcoin's not really driven by fundamentals.
A roller coaster.
But the other ones are, the fundamentals are changing for American business. The NFIB number, which is small business, is really interesting to me because what you're getting ready to see is a change in the regulatory environment. You could talk about tax policy you want to, and we have those conversations, but one of the things that Trump can do by himself is change the regulatory environment, and he is going to deregulate. We did it in the first term. He's going to do it in the second term. That makes a much bigger difference to corporations in this country than people realize.
Pay to play?
No, I don't think so. I think they believe that it's the right thing to do, that regulation has been holding back the American economy. I think they're probably right.
What about, like Donald Trump, I know, hates like wind turbines. So what if a wind turbine company comes in and says, hey, here's our $1 billion investment? You think he's going to move him to the front of the line like everyone else?
I think that's what the tweet says, right? I mean,
Take him at his word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, let's find out what happens when they bring in the $1 billion.
All right, so he brings up he brings up regulations. Here was Jeff Bezos earlier this week, basically echoing that. I'll get your reaction on the other side.
Talking about Trump, I think it's very interesting. I'm actually very optimistic this time around. He seems to have a lot of energy around reducing regulation. And my point of view, if I can help him do that, I'm going to help him.
All right, so is Mick spot on here?
Oh boy, the billionaires love this president. You got 6 in the cabinet so far. You got Bezos touting this. You got this whole $1 billion pledge to an individual or corporation to get whatever they want. Donald Trump has, again, put his chips down on the side of the wealthy and not the side of working people. And I want to point out, on the economic optimism, I think people want a new president to do well. But Donald Trump, again, is inheriting a good economy. He did from Barack Obama, inherited a good economy, crashed it during COVID, inherited another good economy here from Joe Biden. And all those trend lines on stocks have been moving in the right direction, 16 million new jobs, low unemployment. He's been born on third base again. But here's the tell, Blake.
You think it's born on third base stuff?
Yes.
You're giving me a Jim Harbaugh quote. I know where that comes from. Now you perked my ears up.
Here's the tell.
Yeah.
He does not want to fire Jay Powell because he does not want to rock the boat because this thing is going well. Powell is lowering rates because Biden got inflation under control. He does not want to change up the midstream.
What's the problem with billionaires helping? I don't get it. They're the most... Elon Musk is a generational, wildly successful figure. And I hear the Democrats saying, we need to speak to the middle class more, right? I think there's a lot of folks that look up to Elon Musk and say, yeah, like, I see what he did with SpaceX. I see what he did with Tesla. Good on him.
You can look up to folks and no problem with making as much money as you can make in this economy or in this country. But if you rig the system so they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, that's not... If you can literally bypass every regulation if you have $1 billion, yes, that's rigged.
Here's where I wonder, because this is the same language, phrasing that the Democrats used in the last election, which wasn't successful, and I wonder then if it's time to move forward with sort of different messaging.
Well, look, messaging aside, my point is I think the people in the working class, less than $100,000, that voted for Donald Trump because he thought they were more on his side, didn't vote for him because they wanted billionaires to get whatever they wanted, under whatever regulation, whatever law they wanted to bypass. They wanted someone to work for them, to lower costs, to keep prices down, to help protect health care. That's not going to happen under this president.
Let's put the billionaires aside for a second. Go back to that NFIB number, because that is the small business, right? And that's really where the rubber meets the road for the middle class, right? It's where they go shopping. It's where they go to a restaurant and so forth. And if small business is telling you things are going to be better, isn't that really good for the middle class?
I think if there's optimism in this country, and all of us, Democrat, Republican, Independent, should want the economy to do well, should want the president to do well. I do as well. I think we come into a new administration always with a sense of optimism. But again, he's inheriting Joe Biden's strong economy that repaired the mess Donald Trump left it in, and he's keeping people like Jay Powell in place because he does not want to rock that boat.
So that real quick, you would say what before I got
you know, on the Jay Powell thing, look, I think Powell will be in as long as he does what Trump wants him to do. And I think there's always this tension, always between the presidents and the Federal Reserve. This goes back to the beginning of the Federal Reserve. There's stories about Reagan calling Volcker. I mean, that's natural in our system. So we'll wait and see and watch what happens. But look, let's agree on this. Everybody benefits when the economy does well. So let's hope that we get back to this idea of rising tide, raising all ships.
All right. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below
to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.